Kiswahili. Watakaopita mchujo watachaguliwa na wataalamu wa sekta ya muziki pamoja na Permanent Presidential Music Commission PPMC, na itawekwa kwa mitandao ya kijamii na hashtagi rasmi. Fursa Youth Challenge.
The 2022 general election in Kenya.
I, Susan Kihika, do hereby swear.
7 women governors.
Tabitha Karanja Kiroche, having been elected a member of the Senate.
3 women in the Senate.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the people and the Republic of Kenya.
29 women in the National Assembly. And 115 women in the county assemblies. For Nakuru County, it was a clean sweep. How did they beat the mythical odds? We answer this and more in our themed bulletin, Breaking Barriers, Women in Elective Politics in Kenya.
The Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, announces to the public the recruitment of General Service Officer, GSO, cadets, regular and graduate degree holders, specialist officers, general duty recruits, trades men and women, and Defence Forces constables, scheduled to take place in the months of August and September 2023. For details of the recruitment process, tune in to Radio Taifa on the following dates just after the 7 p.m. news bulletin, Monday, the 31st of July 2023. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process. Bribery and other acts of corruption are against the law. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all.
So there is no doubt that there will be a conversation between the government and the opposition. But what are the issues? That is a sticky matter tonight, because both sides cannot appear to agree on how they will begin the talks and how the talks will be structured. We have the details lined up for you tonight. Welcome to Sunday Express. Here are tonight's highlights.
We have agreed, and as I have said, I have engaged our friends in the opposition.
President William Ruto confirms meeting the opposition and agreeing to prioritize the lives of Kenyans in their talks. Push and pull between Kenya Kwanza and opposition leaders on the agenda of the talks. St. Stephen's Cathedral, the first African church in Nairobi, celebrates its 120th anniversary. And Spain spunks Uruguay to clinch the World Under-20 Rugby Trophy as hosts Kenya finishes 6th.
Anoagashi is a sign language interpreter tonight. My name is John Jacob Kioria. You're very much welcome to the broadcast. To start us off tonight, President William Ruto has confirmed holding talks with the opposition and agreeing to put the lives of Kenyans first. The head of state, however, faulted the opposition for backtracking on the agreed agenda of the talks between the two parties that will be spearheaded by a 10-member committee comprising of representatives of both sides. Speaking during an interdenominational Thanksgiving service at Ukunda Showground in Kwale County, the head of state assured that going forward, violence will no longer be part of Kenyan politics.
The fourth day of his development tour of the coastal region, President William Ruto attended an interdenominational Thanksgiving service at Ukunda Showground in Kwale County. It's here that the head of state acknowledged holding talks with the opposition.
Juzi niliongea na kiongozi wa upinzani na viongozi wa upinzani na nikawaambia ya kwamba sisi ni nchi ya demokrasia. Sisi ni nchi ambayo inasimamia katiba na sheria.
President Ruto clarified that the Kenya Kwanza administration had already captured some of the issues raised in the joint agenda for the talks in its manifesto.
Mimi nataka niwaeleze mambo ya gharama ya maisha iko kwa manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza. Mpango mzima na maalum na tayari tunaitekeleza. Na gharama ya maisha haiwezi kutatuliwa vile wao wanapendekeza.
At the same time, the head of state assured that the government will continue investing in the blue economy and mining sectors to grow both industries and job opportunities for the youth in the coastal region.
Ile bahari iko hapa is a very strategic resource for the Republic of Kenya, and we must use it to grow our economy, to grow our job opportunities, and to ensure that we give opportunity to our businessmen so that we can grow wealth katika county yetu ya Mombasa.
On tourism, President Ruto said the government is striving to increase the number of round-trip flights from Mombasa to various international destinations. Later, the president and his entourage made a stopover at Likoni Market in Mombasa County.
Watu wa hapa Likoni, bei ya unga lazima tuiteremushe. Mimi nataka niulize nyinyi, unga haitoki sokoni, unga inatoka shambani.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Still on the much touted dialogue between government and the opposition, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has welcomed dialogue between government and the opposition, but warned the Azimio Brigade against attempting to intimidate the government with violence. Speaking during a fundraising at Alliance High School, the Deputy President commended the police and implored them to remain on standby in case the opposition resorted to violence.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was the guest of honor at a fundraising at the Alliance High School, where the debate on the forthcoming dialogue between the government and the opposition took center stage. The second in command welcoming talks with the Azimio One Kenya as a strategy to solve contentious issues in an non-violent way.
We welcome talks. We welcome non-violent ways of resolving conflicts. That we do. But we are on standby. Once beaten, twice, we are on standby. If the talks, Mheshimiwa Kimani, muendelee, musikizane, muendelee, polisi warudi kwa kazi yao. If there is change of heart, sisi tuko tayari.
The Deputy President also commended the police for their role in quelling the anti-government protests.
The policemen never went to anybody's home. You came with the stones and rocks to stone them. What did you expect them to do? And I want to assure the National Police Service, as Deputy President and Principal Assistant to the President, carry on with the good job you are doing. You are protected and no harm will come to you.
MPs accompanying the Deputy President insisted the talks between the government and the opposition must be people-centered.
That we must dialogue, but even when we are dialoguing, can we have serious dialogue that addresses specific issues? If it is the issue of cost of living, I have not had any agenda from them as to what their formula is.
We have also made a firm commitment to the people of Kenya that they elected a government, that government will govern singularly. We are not in the business of handshakes. We are not in the business of engaging on how to share power and positions.
National Assembly Leader of Majority Kimani Ichung'wah assured the country that with the guidance of party leaders in the two coalitions, the contentious issues will be resolved. Even as Kenya Kwanza Alliance top brass welcome dialogue with the opposition, they are categorical that police are on standby and will not allow violence be used in negotiations. Gisho Kiwashira, reporting from Alliance High School, Kiambu County.
Now details of the other side. The Raila Odinga-led Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has this afternoon distanced themselves from the letter posted by Kenya Kwanza Alliance Majority Leader in the National Assembly Kimani Ichung'wah. The opposition says the cost of living, which was conspicuously missing in the said letter, remains a critical part of the bipartisan talks among other issues. But as Giverson Mine in our reports, Siaya Governor James Orengo has added a twist to the talks by leading Siaya politicians in demanding that those who died during the demos be compensated prior to the talks.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition on Sunday disowned the letter released by National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah on Saturday evening.
We disown the statement by Honorable Ichung'wah. Azimio had nothing to do with it. Its contents were those of Kenya Kwanza, their wish list.
The purported joint statement failed to list the cost of living as among the issues to be discussed in the bipartisan talks, and hence raising uproar amongst Kenyans who question motive behind the talks. The opposition, through former Meru Governor Peter Munya, said the Azimio coalition has issues affecting Kenyans at heart and will prioritize the cost of living in the negotiations.
It is our position that this issue does not require any discussion, but policy or action by the Kenya Kwanza government.
Munya also confirmed the Mombasa meeting on Friday night between the president, Raila Odinga, and former Nigeria President Olusegun Obasanjo.
That indeed there was a meeting chaired by His Excellency Honorable Obasanjo. That meeting did not conclude on any issues. It was a meeting to agree on when to hold talks.
However, Azimio leaders from Siaya County, led by Governor James Orengo and Oriede MP Otiende Amolo, demanded that the families of those who perished during the demos be compensated by the government as a condition to kickstart the talks. The Siaya leaders also want the Finance Act of 2023 repealed.
And Kenya cannot go on any different path but other than the path of peace and dialogue. And Raila Amolo Odinga has always followed the path of peace and dialogue. But there must be certain conditions.
The talks between the government and the opposition were welcomed by ACK Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit, who urged the political class to put the issues affecting Kenyans first in the talks.
Let the debate on the high cost of living not be shelved under the table. Let us all pick it, all of us together, the government, the opposition, civil society, and the church. And we all ask ourselves, what can be done to reduce the high cost of living that is affecting every Kenyan today?
Sapit also urged the opposition to seize the moment in order to end the weekly anti-government demos that he said were destructive.
Any mediation to me that will bring Kenya to a peaceful solution, I support. That's what we have been crying for as a church, and whoever can be used of God to bring about mediation in this country, we will support.
Give us in minor weekend edition.
Now, Kenya Kwanza allied leaders say the mediation talks expected between them and the Azimio faction should strictly center on matters of importance to Kenyans and not about governance. They insisted that the opposition should respect and acknowledge William Ruto's presidency and allow him to deliver his mandate to the nation. The leaders further discredited the anti-government demonstrations, terming them ineffective in fixing the economy.
We have to be fair by letting him govern the country because he's the clear winner of last year's elections.
Following the argument between Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance and Kenya Kwanza administration to have mediation talks, a section of leaders allied to Kenya Kwanza have welcomed the move but insisted that the head of state be allowed to run the country in peace.
Kwa hivyo wale wanakuja mazungumzoni wapinzani lazima kwanza wakukubali wewe ndio rais wa Kenya.
While accusing the opposition of derailing the government's development agenda through their protest, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi stressed that the talks be centered on citizens' concerns.
Discuss them another thing, but not issues of governance. Mmoja atakufundisha political bad manners. Mwingine atakufundisha indecisiveness, doesn't make any decision.
Sentiments echoed by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who urged the president to remain steadfast on fulfilling his promise to serve Kenyans.
If we want to lower the cost of living, it's not by going to sit in strange places to talk with strange people. It is by having sound economic policies, increasing production, and helping the Kenyan farmer to produce enough food.
Kuzungumza mambo ya uchumi, kuzungumza mambo ya kitaifa. Tafadhali ndugu zetu, let us talk as Kenyans, but do not try and internationalize your losses in here.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kidero Kindiki, who joined Christian faithful at St. Aloysius Gonzaga Catholic Church Kairuri Parish in Embu County, on his part says the discussion should seek to end violence.
Lazima waseme kwa sauti kubwa na hata watie sahihi mkataba ya kwamba hawatarudia kuchochea watoto wetu kwenda kuleta vurugu tena.
Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
Today is a Sunday, so let's shift focus from politics and focus on a Sunday. St. Stephen's Cathedral in Nairobi has stood the test of time, anchored by its status as the first African church established in Nairobi 120 years ago. During the centenary celebrations presided over by the Anglican Archbishop, Most Reverend Dr. Jackson Olesapit, the faithful were urged to continue upholding the Christian values of love and forgiveness for future generations to emulate.
A unique Sunday it was at the first ever African church in Nairobi, St. Stephen's Cathedral, Jogoo Road, a church that carries lots of history and legacy. Part of that rich heritage is its choir. Remembered for playing a significant role in 1978 after the death of Kenya's founding president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
It was the first church, not just the first Anglican church to be planted in Nairobi, but actually the first church to be planted in the city of Nairobi. And interestingly, it was planted where today we have the National Assembly. That is where it was planted in 1903.
The hallmark of the centennial celebrations was the launch of the history book, the Cathedral magazine and documentary showing the illustrious journey, including the historic 1952 when it was handed to Africans from the whites.
And now we have come up with a very beautiful history of St. Stephen's Cathedral for the last 120 years.
The Anglican Church, which has more than 40 dioceses in the country, is also keen on leveraging opportunities available on the digital platform.
We have been running services online. Now we are embarking on putting the Christian message on YouTube. And part of the centenary today is that some of the captions of that history has been preserved in the digital space.
Staunch Anglican faithful who congregated in their thousands also weighed in on the significance of the celebrations.
Nilikuwa nikiabudu hapa na pia ni kanisa ambalo kusema kweli lina historia na pia vile vile ni kanisa nzuri kwa sababu ibada zao pia ni nzuri na pia vile vile wanakwaya ambao wanaimba vizuri na bado mpaka sasa nyimbo zao tunazipenda na mimi huwa nikija hapa.
Doreen Arange for Sunday Express.
Congratulations to the St. Stephen's Jogoo Road Cathedral. Of course, the Nairobi Anglican Diocese, as well as the entire Anglican Communion in the country. The government is set to begin a nationwide vaccination campaign against tuberculosis, targeting children aged 15 and below. Principal Secretary of the State Department for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Muthoni, says the decision has been informed by statistics which indicate that 14% or 11% rather of TB patients in Kenya are children under 15 years. She urged parents not to ignore persistent coughs in their children and instead take children to the hospital for checkups. The PS made the announcement at Karuchu Catholic Church in Geshogo constituency, Kirinyaga County.
And moving to preventive. So we need to be more proactive on areas disease control, so that we are able to keep the masses in a better state. We are also encouraging people to keep high level of hygiene in their households, so that we are able to keep away from this kind of diseases.
We're taking our first breather on Sunday Express, but don't go too far. There are much more interesting stories coming up after the break.
Cheza Loto Moto. Sasa unaweza jishindia instantly na Loto Moto. Dial star 570 hash. Wakati wowote, siku yoyote ya wiki na mahali popote. Dial star 570 hash. Kisha chagua moja kati ya games za Loto Moto. Weka stakes zako 50 shillings, 300, 500, 2,000 shillings. The bigger your stake, the greater or the bigger your prizes. Cheza mara kadhaa na kumbuka, cheza responsibly. 18 years and above. Cheza Loto Moto.
Je, wewe ni mwanamuziki, mtayarishaji wa muziki, mwimbaji, mpiga vyombo au msanii? Kuanzia tarehe 26 Julai mpaka tarehe 2 Agosti mwaka huu, The National Youth Council inatafuta nyimbo ya kipekee ya kuwakilisha vijana. Lugha ya nyimbo hiyo lazima iwe Kiingereza au Kiswahili. Watakaopita mchujo watachaguliwa na wataalamu wa sekta ya muziki pamoja na Permanent Presidential Music Commission PPMC, na itawekwa kwa mitandao ya kijamii na hashtagi rasmi. Fursa Youth Challenge.
The 2022 general election in Kenya.
I, Susan Kihika, do hereby swear.
7 women governors.
Tabitha Karanja Kiroche, having been elected a member of the Senate.
3 women in the Senate.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the people and the Republic of Kenya.
29 women in the National Assembly. And 115 women in the county assemblies. For Nakuru County, it was a clean sweep. How did they beat the mythical odds? We answer this and more in our themed bulletin, Breaking Barriers, Women in Elective Politics in Kenya.
The Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, announces to the public the recruitment of General Service Officer, GSO, cadets, regular and graduate degree holders, specialist officers, general duty recruits, trades, men and women, and Defence Forces constables, scheduled to take place in the months of August and September 2023. For details of the recruitment process, tune in to Radio Taifa on the following dates just after the 7 p.m. news bulletin, Monday, the 31st of July 2023. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process. Bribery and other acts of corruption are against the law. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all.
Bilisi, tafuta ugo mtu atagusia.
Ni vibaya sana kubeba moto namna hiyo.
Wewe unaenda wapi wewe? Rudi hapa wewe. Motobe, nitakufuta gasi wewe.
usikie kabisa na ufungue masikio usikie. Hakuna kazi na kurudishia ya umanager.
Wewe ni nani?
Baliaga mwenyewe.
I have the energy and the power to fire you.
Hata mimi nilikuwa
kwa Namasa.
Wewe ngoja ni yako bwana, wewe ona ulinitanganya.
Hebu uma kula hiyo.
Welcome back. You're watching Sunday Express. Forest rangers put their lives at risk of poachers and other criminals who engage in illegal logging to conserve forests. We caught up with Ranger David Ogalo and Leah Cheptile in Kesup Forest Station, that is in Elgeyo Marakwet, to understand the vagaries of the job they do. This comes as forest rangers look forward to the annual World Ranger Day celebrated on the 31st of July, that is tomorrow.
As the day breaks, Forest Ranger David Ogalo gets ready for the day. In what has become a routine as he prepares for the day, his thoughts on the right artery to wear, his safety as well as equipment needed in case of any eventuality in the line of duty.
Nafanya safety precaution, nihakikisha kuna kitu ndani. Sasa iko safe.
He then liaised with his counterpart Leah Cheptile. Disappearing into the lush green part of Kesup Forest in Elgeyo Marakwet for patrols. As he walks through the forest, he reminisces about what inspired him to be a ranger and what it takes for one to be a good ranger.
Mazingira lazima pende. Kitu ya kwanza, kazi yetu sio not only to protect but also to conserve. Hawachi mambo ya kutumia kama dawa ya kulevya, hizo ni vitu lazima uachane nayo. Hata kukutii wazazi ama kutii mtu yote, hiyo ni part of discipline. Lazima uwe medically and physically fit.
What lurks in the forest each day is a mystery that he seeks to unravel with the key mandate of ensuring no trees are cut and the ecosystem is maintained.
Whenever you relax, just subtly relax. This thing they call katasaba, that is 7 feet logs, is being carried by motorcycle. And I think the motorcycle, even here we have our own road, but when it's placed in a silent mood, you cannot. Free gear, it will pass.
It is a calling that has a myriad of challenges.
The strength of the rangers. It is not only affecting Kesup Kapteren as a beat, nor Kesup as a station, but also Kenyan-wide.
Challenges that the acting chief conservator of forest, Alex Lemarkoko, knows only too well.
We have a severe shortage of personnel to effectively manage, protect and conserve our forest environment. Now, the government has, through the head of state, has actually provided us with an opportunity to increase our numbers by more than half of what is existing. So we have 2,700 rangers currently undergoing the basic paramilitary training, law enforcement training, and training to be able to work with the communities. And they are currently at our college in Gilgil to receive those competencies. Once they are through, we're going to have 600 foresters who will also join the rest of our foresters.
These hurdles yearn for solutions as the globe commemorates the World Rangers Day, marked every 31st of July.
First of all, for them to be able to adapt and operate in those extreme environments, there's an aspect of training, there's an aspect of equipping, there's an aspect of public relation with the members of the public. There's also the aspect of technology. So all those, when we bring them together, then we provide them with the necessary skills, competences, and support.
They have acknowledged the community engagement is key in conserving forests.
The environment or the forest it is not for the forest station manager and his rangers. It is for the community. Because we rangers, we come for a short period of time, then we are transferred to another station. But the community themselves will remain here.
Hence, their clarion call.
We have Mukti, Ambai, that is the tree. We have Muto, that is the river. And we have Mutu, that is the human being. Human being cannot enjoy environment where there's no trees. And wherever you have trees, there's what? River. So they go concurrently. Mutu, panda miti, upate muto.
With improved working conditions, their performance can only get better. Most say it's easier to create a desert than a forest. That's why the rangers have dedicated their lives to ensuring that they maintain the natural ecosystem by keeping away poachers and all other illegal activities. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Kesup Forest in Elgeyo Marakwet County, I'm Sarafina Rugby.
Kericho Deputy Governor Fred Kirui has called for investigations into the usage of funds raised in aid of victims of the Lundiani Junction accident, alleging that the money has been misused. This and more in our county news roundup.
Kericho Deputy Governor Fred Kirui claims that out of the 13.7 million shillings that was raised on the 4th of July 2023 at Lundiani Stadium, only 5.7 million shillings reached the victims' families.
Lakini jambo la kushangaza ni kwamba katika hiyo harambee pesa milioni 5,700 ndio ilitumika peke yake kuwapatia ama wale manusura.
Meanwhile, residents of Diiso, Rame, Shahio and Libahale in Garissa County are up in arms against companies mining gypsum in the area. Among their grievances is dust from the mining sites, which they say has left several people with chest complications and open quarries, which pose a danger to both humans and livestock.
Sasa sisi nataka serikali atusaidie sisi hii timu aweke mchanga.
Elsewhere, leaders from different parts of the country have called out the county government of Baringo for neglecting the Baringo County and Referral Hospital. The dire state of the health facility has forced patients to seek treatment in neighboring nearby counties.
Next 6 months, hakuna mtu anaenda Iten kwa madawa. Hakuna kwenda Iten kwa matibabu. Hakuna kwenda Iten kwa CT scan.
And police officers from Igembe North Sub-County in Meru County have started engaging border operators in fighting crime in the area. The move follows rising insecurity cases involving border operators and theft of motorbikes in the area.
Hao vijana wengi wamepoteza maisha kupitia kwa dhuluma ya wakatili, watu watukutu ambao hawataki kuona mtu mwingine akiwa na haki yake.
In Migori County, residents of Makalder in Nyatike will benefit from a 4.5 million shillings water project funded by the Turkish government.
Today in Migori, approximately 45,000 USD, borehole distribution, food, and also slaughtering, all of them. Especially I appreciate to my sister Fatima Muhammad.
Finally, residents of Malindi town are set to benefit from employment opportunities following the opening of a Naivas supermarket at the Malindi Festival Mall. At least 100 people will secure jobs at the new store.
First of all, creating employment for people in the area. We now have 10 stores in the coast region and we want to open more.
The business is booming in Maridi, and that's why it was justifiable for us to have another one.
For Sunday Express, I'm Alvin Counder.
Now, life can take unexpected turns, and for 12-year-old Shalin, a joyful and vibrant child, one fateful day changed her life forever. After experiencing a sudden and severe seizure, Shalin found herself facing an immense challenge, that is paralysis. This is the story of Shalin's courage and resilience, coupled with her parents' unwavering determination to overcome adversity and create a life full of possibilities for their daughter.
Joseph Ndongo and his wife Mary take turns in caring for their 12-year-old daughter Shalin.
At the age of 1, Shalene's life was like that of any other typical 1-year-old, achieving every milestone, walking and feeding.
Alizaliwa vizuri normally na akagrow vizuri kama watoto wale wengine bila tatizo.
Na alikuwa anasimama na alikuwa anatembea. Hata alikuwa ameanza kuongea na hiyo mwaka moja.
However, one fateful day would turn her life upside down when she unexpectedly suffered a seizure due to high fever.
Wakati tulifika hospitali ndio wakamweka line. Hiyo container zaidi ile waliweka ya kuweka maji na dawa. Sijui walikosa mishipa kwa mikono. Sasa wakati waliweka hiyo line wakaweka dawa, joto ikapungua, lakini mtoto hakuamka.
This prompted the medics to transfer Shalene to another hospital for better care.
Hizo testi zingine zote hakuna kitu ilionyesha ati akona malaria, akona meningitis, hakuwa nayo, hakuna.
And after 7 days in a coma, Shalene woke up, but she had suffered paralysis due to brain injury.
Ni macho tu alifunguka na hiyo macho hangeweza kutana na loud ama wapi, mwili ilisimama hivyo.
She lost all her mobility and simple things like standing and eating became difficult.
Nilikuwa na ugumu kwa sababu hizo juu bado hazijafukuka, kwa hiyo nilikuwa na force ili ninaingiza kitu kama kitu liquid kama maziwa na kikombe, unaweka tu kwa mdomo inateremka. Na ikiteremka sasa either atapike ama hawezi kunywa vizuri. Yenye akitapika yenye inabaki sasa hiyo ndiko inamsaidia.
Joseph blames the medics for mishandling his daughter's health.
Mahali aliwekea shindano ndio ili block oxygen. Sasa akawa na brain injury.
For Shalene and her family, it meant adjusting to a new reality with physical limitations and emotional challenges.
Unamfanyia therapy kidogo. Unakuja. Unamfanyia. Unajaribu kujanisha hii mikono vizuri. Taratibu kwa sababu unaweza mvunja. Kuna vile unaenda pole pole. Daktari ametuonyesha.
Instead of succumbing to despair, Shalene's parents embarked on a quest to provide her with the best medical treatment possible. Joseph's quest for the best medical treatment led him to India, where he found a medical center renowned for its expertise in neurological disorders and paralysis rehabilitation.
Hii picha ndio inaonyeshanga mahali injury ilianzia na cause ya injury. Kuna mahali kuna dark na kuna mahali kuna blue na kuna mahali kuna purple. Sasa pale kuna dark ndio oxygen ilifungiwa na ndio ilifunga hizo siku 7. Kwa hivyo sasa ikaleta infection kwa brain.
In India, Shalene underwent surgery.
Hiyo inaitwa selective dose rhizotomy. Hiyo ndio surgery ambayo ilimsaidia kwa sababu hakuwa na balance, hii anakuwa na balance.
She then underwent hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It works by supplying pure oxygen into the bloodstream while the patient lies in a pressurized chamber.
Kuingia siku za kwanza alianza kuachilia, mwili wake uliachilia. Huku joo ziliendelea tu kuacha. Mwili wake sasa ikaanza kurudi.
Pia mdomo hata hizi zote zilikuwa zimeshikana. So iko inamsaidia kufunguka. So hata kuchiu hapo ndio sasa aliweza kuchiu kwa njia mzuri.
Throughout the process of seeking treatment in a foreign land abroad, Joseph's family came across a series of challenges. They hope to raise another 2.5 million shillings for Shalene's further treatment.
Nimesimamisha hivi anasimama ni vile hana hiyo support. Kwa hivyo kienda kufanyiwa hiyo oxygenated therapy hiyo, nina matumaini huyo mtoto atatembea.
Kwa hivyo nikirudi tena inaweza improve zaidi.
This experience led him to co-founding Rujo's Tender Care to help other parents with similar experience. Maria Ambo reporting for KBC Channel 1.
A family from Vihiga County is appealing for 1.5 million shillings medical aid for an eye surgery transplant for their daughter. Valentine Kageha, a Form 1 student, developed a problem with her eyesight while in primary school.
Samuel Chanzo says his daughter Valentine Kageha started ailing in 2018. She was diagnosed with an advanced keratoconus blind eye, a condition in which the clear tissue on the front of the eye, cornea, bulges outward, causing blurred vision.
Sana sana tulikuja kugundua pamoja, yani walimu ndio waliweza kutujulisha huyo mtoto kwa shule, hatuoni akiona vizuri.
Nikiwa shuleni hii macho inauma hadi masikio, siwezi hata angalia kwa jua. Nikitaka kuandika notes naangalia kwa za mwingine, hata ubao siwezi ona. Kuperform hata ni vigumu.
This year the problem escalated. Due to lack of funds for an eye transplant, Valentine has been forced to stay at home. The family is now appealing to well-wishers to help them.
Mimi mwenyewe ni mzee ambao ameweza kuacha kazi miaka 8, 9, 10 huko. Sasa ikawa ni vigumu kuweza kutreat huyo mtoto. Najaribu njia zote, nakuta ni vigumu. Ningependa nipate usaidizi, mtoto aweze kusaidika, aweze kusoma.
Contributions can be channeled to the father through mobile number 0705909078 under the name Samuel Momeu. Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
All right, time for us now to take yet another breather on Sunday Express. When we come back, Daniel Ohome is on the other end of studio, ready with the sports.
Cheza Loto Moto. Sasa unaweza jishindia instantly na Loto Moto. Dial *570 hash. Wakati wowote, siku yoyote ya wiki na mahali popote. Dial *570 hash. Kisha chagua moja kati ya games za Loto Moto. Weka stake zako 50 shillings, 300, 500, 2,000 shillings. The bigger your stake, the greater or the bigger your prizes. Cheza mara kadhaa na kumbuka, cheza responsibly. 18 years and above. Cheza Loto Moto.
영준 신부님 시신 명예훼손한 거, 구영서 후배 죽이고 그 가족들까지 위협한 거
제발 부탁 들어주십시오. 아들이기 때문에 안 들어주는 거야. 분노인 내가 진짜 감히 지금 누구를.
A very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Sunday Express Sport. Now, we start with rugby, where Spain humbled a resilient Uruguay 39-32 in a fierce final to lift the 2023 World Rugby Under-20 trophy at the Nyao National Stadium. Scotland defeated Samoa 83-10 to bag the bronze, while Kenya finished 6th overall after losing 10-64 to African rival Zimbabwe in the 5th place playoff.
Diego Gonzalez, Christian Moreno, Gabriel Rosaris and Borja Ibanez touched down for Spain, while Uruguay got their tries through Martin Hiveta, Juan Gonzalez, Pedro Hoblock, Francisco de Feminis and Juan Carlos Quinesa. In that place play of March, Scotland humbled Samoa 83-10 to bag bronze. Meanwhile, Kenya under-20 rugby team Chipu finished 6th overall after losing 64-10 to African rivals Zimbabwe in the 5th place playoff match. Dion Kumalo, Singi Manyarara, Shibarashe Kanyangarara and Tawanda Matipano were some of the try scores for Zimbabwe, while James Sinalo touched down for Kenya. Winners Spain have qualified for the 2024 World Championships. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendo.
And remember that the World Rugby Under-20 trophy has been live on KBC Channel 1 and also on Wired 254. Moving on to the martial arts, where Enoch Mutua, Nora Mwanzia and James Amuko were among the winners of the Nairobi Open Novice Karate Championship held at the Technical University of Kenya. The two-day event was used to select a team that will take part in the Inter-County Karate Championship scheduled for November this year in Mombasa.
Enoch Mutua bagged gold after emerging victorious in the male kata category ahead of Emal Mutua and Victor Mwendwa, who bagged silver and bronze respectively. In the novice female kata category, Nora Mwanzia won the title, while Julius Masenya and Mas Wamboi were awarded silver and bronze respectively.
And the experience was great. Yeah, I managed to take gold in my category. My opponents were quite stronger than I expected, but I had prepared very well and I was ready for that moment.
Gideon Muchangi emerged victorious in the novice male kumite under 60 kilogram category to bag gold, while Samson Samimi and Amos Muranga walked away with silver and bronze respectively.
I've been training, consistent training every day. Yeah, you'll be good. When you train every day, fight becomes easy. Once, just train, believe in yourself, work hard, train every day, consistency every day.
In the seniors male kumite above 67 kilogram, Chris Muchanja was awarded gold medal, while Abdu Aikil and Seth Odhiambo settled for second and third position to bag silver and bronze respectively.
We have put in place very elaborate measures just to ensure that we prepare the team. This is basically because of the opportunities that we have availed to our teams to be able to participate and also sharpen their techniques.
As from next year, we are going to have our second season Nairobi Karate League, which is going to be very much fireworks, and I hope very many members are going to register.
The championship attracted over 160 participants and was used to select a team that will take part in the Inter-County Karate Championship slated for November in Mombasa. Kingori Mwangi for Sunday Express.
And just to give you a hint of what's on Sports Check tomorrow, the Nairobi County team will be in this studio and to tell us about their preparations for that event. Moving on is that Patrick Kamau, Luoni Tiet, Moses Ndarwa and James Awino posted outstanding performances as the curtains came down on the esports FIFA 20 tournament at the Diamond Plaza in Nairobi County. The one-day tournament attracted 32 players who are battling for a purse of 100,000 shillings.
Patrick Kamau beat Rogers Ndoru 5-0 to establish as priority in the eSport FIFA tournament. In the first round, Lonnie Teet thrashed Ongari Onyango 6-3. Moses Thige defeated Tendi Nobasi 4-2. Michael Nguai beat Simon Mwangi 2-1. Derek Minor lost 2-1 to Colin Skip Ngetich, while Jaffa Ali trounced Andrin Karaoke 5-3.
It's a short career, but I don't know, in the future maybe compete in more tournaments, especially the FIFA Global Series, which are held mainly in Europe and Asia.
What we are trying to do in the bigger space, I will call it bigger space because I'm under someone here, is we're trying to make awareness and actually make esports regular to all people.
Tanitiji Gaming CEO Munyuto Wadi said they are starting an initiative where league players will earn an income from the game in bid to nurture young talents.
Our goal is to have the best in Kenya take on the best in South Africa. We recently launched in South Africa, and hopefully soon we'll be in Senegal and a few other African countries, so that eventually you have the top number one in this country taking on the number one in another country for us to find who's the best FIFA player in Africa.
The Ministry of Youth also recognize that esports is one of the areas that they need to put focus on, and also our universities are also embracing esports. We find that it is no longer just a part-time game, but it is also a co-curricular activity.
Chance for everyone at home.
The one-day tournament attracted 32 players, where they were battling for cash prize award of 100,000 shillings. Kioria Mwangi for Sunday Express.
On there, yeah, it's mind games. It's a 50-50. They're either going to.
Ulitoka vipi bila kuniambia wewe?
Yaani kutoka siku zote leo ni mbaya. Yaani si vile ninavyomfahamu.
Unifahamu wewe? Unifahamu kabisa? Sikujui. Kingo huyu mtu ni nani?
Mimi peke yangu ndio jinamizi ile nyumba.
Yaani mtoto jinsi unavyong'ara. Tunameremeta. Mtoto kubambamu.
Ni kwaje mbona hali ya mama imebadilika ghafla namna hii?
Bilisi, tafuta ugo mtu atagusia. Ni vibaya sana kubeba mbodo namna hiyo. Wewe unaenda wapi wewe? Rudi hapa wewe. Botobe, nitakufuta gasi wewe.
Usikie kabisa na ufungue masikio usikie. Hakuna kazi na kurudishia ya umanager.
Wewe ni nani?
Bale yake mwenyewe.
I have the energy and the power to fire you.
Hata mimi nilikuwepo.
Nyamaza.
Sasa wewe ngoja ni yako bwana, wewe ona ulinitanganya.
Hebu uma kula hiyo.
And welcome back to Sunday Express Sport. And from the couch, let's move on to the fairways where Nakuru-based player Francis Kioni emerged the winner of the third leg of the DTB Golf Tournament held at the Par 73 Nakuru Golf Club in Nakuru County. 155 golfers drawn from Nakuru and its environs took part in this tournament.
Kioni beat his closest challenger Patrick Mutinda on the countback to claim the overall title with an impressive 38 points. Linda Munyao took the top spot on the ladies category after posting 36 points ahead of Andwati with 33 points.
One of the illusions that should be dealt with is that golf is for the rich. Golf is for everyone. I sell golf clubs and they are very cheap in my shop. So golf is for everyone. One thing we need to do to nurture the talent is to bring up our young children, especially the youth.
The award for the longest drive in the men and women categories went to John Bangi and Susan Ikwa respectively. 155 golfers drawn from Nakuru, Naivasha, Kericho, Njoro, Eldoret, Nandi and Kitale, among other regions, took part.
Being among the ladies who play here, the club ensures that ladies and men who play golf, they have equal opportunities. Yes.
Meanwhile, pupils, parents and staff members of El Shaddai Primary School converged at the Mohori Mushiri grounds to take part in this year's edition of the El Shaddai Sports Day.
We had a committee that was helping in organizing this, and we can't stand and say we faced challenges.
Sports, it's most important because it makes the kids grow healthy and also break from the normal academic life that ease the tension in them.
El Shaddai staff won the soccer title after beating the parents 3-0, while the parents beat the teachers 2-1 in the ladies category.
We have come together, the pupils, parents and the teachers, so that we can have a games day. And we have been enjoying so much. We have seen pupils we have seen pupils playing football.
A day that we come together, not to talk about academic, but to talk about and to share a day together for sports. As you know, sports bring people together, and that is why we are here.
In the pupils category, Team Peace lost 2-0 to Team Joy as El Shaddai staff beat El Shaddai parents 3-0 in the volleyball. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Let me just say that Dan Mwendwa probably didn't give the scores of the students beating their parents. I think the only sport in which parents can beat their children is chess, because it's all about seeing what's ahead. Now let's go across our borders where tournament co-hosts New Zealand were knocked out of the FIFA Women's World Cup as Switzerland got the draw they needed against the host to advance as Group A winners. In other matches played, Morocco registered a shock 1-0 win over South Korea, while Norway trounced the Philippines 5-0.
Amani, the ball coming in from El Haj into the corner of the net. It's the perfect start for Morocco.
Ibitsam Draidi scored Morocco's first World Cup goal with a 6th-minute header as the North Africans, ranked 72nd in the world, stunned their 17th-ranked opponents. 16-year-old substitute Kassifia fired wide for South Korea late on. Morocco defender Nauhila Benzema made history by becoming the first player to wear a hijab at a World Cup. South Korea has now lost both matches at the Women's World Cup. Morocco lost 6-0 to Germany in their first match in Group H.
Ayan, and it's wide.
In other matches, Norway trounced the Philippines 6-0, while Switzerland was held to a barren draw by New Zealand.
They have beaten Korean Republic.
And remember that the business end of the group phase of the Women's World Cup is going to be done in the next 4 or so days before they get into the knockout phase. Now, let's keep with fixtures across our borders where Liverpool began their 2-game pre-season tour in Singapore with an impressive 4-0 win over championship side Leicester City in Kallang. 3 goals from Darwin Nunez, Bobby Clark and Diogo Jota in the first half put the game to bed before youngster Ben Doak got on the score sheet in the second half. Here's a report of the international club friendlies.
That's McAteer, it breaks from Daka, and the forward ball, what a save that is by...
Darwin Nunez tapped home Liverpool's first goal in the 30th minute before Bobby Clark steered a first-time shot from Mohamed Salah's pass just inside the box to double Liverpool's lead in the 35th minute, while Diogo Jota scored the third goal 3 minutes later.
And it's on to Salah here, and the tee-up, oh yes, Bobby Clark for Liverpool. Salah, beautiful, absolutely brilliant from Liverpool. Salah's ball.
Ben Doak headed home Liverpool's 4th goal from Matip's cross. Liverpool takes on Bayern Munich on Wednesday as they make final preparations ahead of their opening Premier League clash with Chelsea on August 13th.
And so that's the sport for tonight. And remember, tomorrow morning, bright and early at 10 a.m., it's a sports check o'clock. And we shall be talking with the leader of the Kenya National Rally Championship, Jasmine Chana. They call him the Iceman. And also we shall be talking